There are 7 specific dangerous places that will destroy your future if you do not walk away from them immediately. Most men spend their entire lives trapped in these environments, wondering why they never made it. They are blind to the fact that the very rooms they feel safe in are the ones killing them. The most dangerous people in your life do not carry knives. They carry friendship. Machiavelli warned that a man's ruin rarely comes from his enemies. It comes from the places he feels most comfortable. You think you are hanging out. You think you are networking. You think you are just catching up. You are wrong. You are walking into a social minefield every single day, and you do not even see the tripwires. Machiavelli understood something brutal. The fastest way to destroy a man is not to attack him. It is to put him in a place where his ambition goes to sleep. Certain rooms, certain circles, and certain conversations are designed to keep you small, keep you broke, and keep you weak. Most men walk into these traps smiling, then act confused when their life feels stuck in the mud. Think about the last time you sat in a circle of friends and vented about your struggles. You felt relief, did you not? That was not peace. That was the smell of your power leaving your body. You did not get a solution. You got a sedative. You traded dominance for a moment of sympathy. And everyone in that room saw your price. In this world, there are 7 zones of death that will strip you of power, leak your secrets, and turn iron will into soft glass. If you are in one of these circles right now, you are not relaxing. You are being harvested. Your energy is being drained. Your edge is being blunted. And the people you call friends might be the ones holding the knife. Today, I am exposing these 7 dangerous places. I am going to show you why the shoulder to cry on is often a knife in your back, and why being the big fish in your current pond is slow-motion suicide. We start with the most addictive trap of all, the place where most men go to die before they are even buried. If you value your future, do not look away. 1. The sympathy circle. You might know it as the group chat where everyone complains about their boss. The bar where you meet to talk about how unfair the world is. The dinner table where you vent about your struggling business. This is the most addictive and destructive place a man can inhabit. It is a circle where the primary currency is shared trauma, complaints, and excuses. Think about your Friday nights. Think about that group chat you check every morning. What is the topic? Expansion and strategy? Or a collective ritual of complaining about the boss, the economy, and how everything is rigged? You think you are finding comfort. You think you are getting it off your chest. But Machiavelli understood what you do not. Pity is a drug. And like any drug, it feels good while it is killing you. Every time you complain to this circle, you leak power. You show everyone exactly where you are weak, where you are hurting, and where you are vulnerable. You think they are listening to help you. They are not. They are listening to feel better about their own failures. When you tell a friend about your struggle and they nod and say, "I know, man, it's tough out there," that is not support. That is validation of mediocrity. It gives you permission to stay exactly where you are. And many of them want you to stay in the dirt with them. Because if you ever climb out and win, your existence becomes a mirror of their cowardice. In the house of pity, no one wants to see a winner. They want a fellow victim. Look at the faces in that circle. Those are not hunters. That is a herd huddled together for warmth while wolves circle outside. Every time you participate in that venting, you train your brain to seek pity points instead of power. You start valuing the relief of being heard over the results of being respected. A man who is comfortable being pitied can never be feared. And a man who is not feared will never be truly sovereign. The danger is that this place feels moral. It feels human. We are told vulnerability is always strength. That is a half-truth that gets men destroyed. In the world of power, unfiltered vulnerability is a map. And in the house of pity, you hand out that map for free. Every conversation is either a negotiation or an admission. If you are not talking about leverage, you are often admitting you have none. When you sit in this circle recounting losses, you cement your identity as someone who loses. You teach your circle to view you as a liability. They might smile and offer a shoulder, but internally they categorize you. You start believing, "At least I have my friends," is a substitute for "I achieved my goals." It is not. These people will disappear when you need something that requires effort. They are only loyal to shared misery. The sympathy circle is a graveyard for ambition. If you stay there, you will die a quiet, comfortable death, surrounded by people who will mourn you, because they are relieved it was you in the box and not them. You do not need a shoulder to cry on. You need a strategy to win. The relief you feel when you vent is your drive leaving your body. Walk away from venting sessions. Leave the group chats that focus on what is wrong instead of what is next. Stop looking for people who get it and start looking for people who do it. The house of pity is warm. That is why it works. That is why it kills. If you do not have the stomach to leave the people who comfort you in failure, you will never have the strength to stand among people who challenge you to win. Break the circle. Kill the need for pity. The silence of your struggle is the foundation of your future strength. And understand this. The sympathy circle is only the beginning. The next two places do not just drain your spirit. They steal your identity. They make you believe you are winning while you are being used. 2. The table of unearned respect. You escaped the herd. Now you walk into something more deceptive. Most men spend their lives chasing a seat at a high-status table, believing proximity to power is the same as possessing it. You finally make it. You are in the room with movers and shakers. The wine costs more than your monthly rent. They laugh at your jokes. They ask your opinion on things that do not matter. You feel proud. You feel like you arrived. Machiavelli would see a mascot. This is the table of unearned respect. You are in the room, but you are not a player. They keep you close because your presence validates their status. You are the nice guy they keep around to feel benevolent. But the moment the check comes, or a real decision is made, you will realize you have zero leverage. The danger here is subtle. This place kills hunger. It gives you the illusion of success without substance. You start to dress like them, talk like them, act like them. But your bank account and your influence have not moved an inch. You become a parasite of prestige. You stop doing the brutal work required to own the room, because being in the room feels like enough. While you feel honored, they make sure you stay one step behind. 3. The echo chamber of low-level winners. This trap is even more seductive because it feeds your ego instead of your insecurity. It is the room where you are the big fish in a small stagnant pond. You are the most successful guy in your friend group, the smartest guy in the office, the one everyone asks for advice because compared to them, you look unstoppable. You feel like a king. This is the most dangerous form of security. When your ego is fed by people beneath you, you stop evolving. You stop sharpening your blade because there is nothing left to cut. They do not challenge you. They applaud you. Why? Because as long as you stay at the top of their pond, they get to brag about having a successful friend. But the second you jump into a bigger ocean, the second you compete with real predators, you realize how soft you became. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. You traded the discomfort of growth for the comfort of being worshipped by mediocrity. You are winning by a standard that does not matter. These two places are designed to freeze you. One makes you a servant to the powerful. The other makes you a prisoner of the weak. In both, you are not sovereign. You must be willing to be a nobody in a room full of giants rather than the hero in a room full of children. 4. The sunken cost relationship, the dead weight. You are pouring your life into a ghost. You stay in a relationship, business, or partnership that died years ago, and the only reason you have not left is because of how much you already lost. This is a psychological black hole. Machiavelli observed that most men are destroyed not by a single catastrophic mistake, but by the inability to cut losses. You call it loyalty, you call it fighting. But there is a line between perseverance and slow suicide. In this place, you are not fighting for a future, you are mourning a past. You stay with a partner who disrespects your vision, a business partner who drains resources, a circle that demands attention but offers no leverage. Why do you stay? Because your ego cannot accept that years were wasted. If you walk away, you think you admit defeat. So you double down, another year, another talk, another attempt to rebuild on sand. Every hour you spend, there is an hour stolen from the man you are meant to become. The time already spent is gone. It has no value in the present. The only question is whether the next hour yields a return. If the answer is no and you stay anyway, you are no longer a strategist. You are a victim. You are standing in a burning building because you are upset about how much you spent on the furniture. Power requires ruthlessness with your own history. You must be able to look at a 5-year investment, see it as dead, and walk away. If you cannot, your past is controlling your future. 5. The stage of false status, the debt trap. This is the modern killing field. You perform a life you have not earned for people who do not actually like you. It is the VIP section you cannot afford. The designer clothes bought to look the part while your bank account screams. The circle with an entry fee just to be seen with people who are just as desperate as you. Machiavelli understood that the appearance of power is a tool only when backed by substance. When you spend money you have not earned to impress people you have not conquered, you are not a prince. You are a court jester. This place forces permanent performance. You cannot take risks. You cannot be honest. You cannot pivot. You are too busy maintaining the illusion. Looking rich is the fastest way to stay poor. Your status becomes tied to consumption, not production. You are trading future freedom for temporary validation. A man of power would rather live in a basement with leverage than in a mansion with debt. 6. The arena of the middle ground, the neutral zone. This is where you try to stay neutral during conflict. You think you are being tactical, the bigger man, keeping options open. You are wrong. In the world of power, the middle ground is where all crossfire lands. Machiavelli was brutal on this point. Neutrality is the refuge of the weak. When you refuse to take a side, you lose the respect of the winner and the trust of the loser. You end up alone with no allies and a reputation as a fence-sitter. How many times have you suppressed your real view to keep the peace? How many times have you tried to stay friends with two people at war, thinking you can mediate? You are not mediating. You are becoming a target for both. If no one knows where you stand, they cannot rely on you. And they will never fear you. To be sovereign, you must accept that standing for something makes you polarizing. It is better to be hated by half the room and respected by the other half, than vaguely liked by everyone and taken seriously by no one. 7. The ghost of your hometown, the childhood shadow. This is the final gate. It knows your name, your history, and every insecurity you ever tried to hide. It is the social circle of people who knew you before you decided to become dangerous. Old friends, extended family, day ones who still see you as the version of yourself that was easy to manage. Machiavelli understood a prophet is never recognized in his own land. Those who knew you when you were weak will always try to anchor you to that identity. They do not want you to change because your evolution condemns their stagnation. They will bring up old mistakes, childhood nicknames, and remember when stories whenever you start to display real power. Not to keep you grounded, to keep you level. You cannot wear the sovereign mask in a room full of people who remember you as a servant. To ascend, you must be willing to become a stranger to those who no longer serve the mission. The price of your new life is the death of your old one. If you refuse to kill the ghost, it will haunt your empire until it crumbles. You stayed in these 7 places because you were afraid of the cold. You chose the warmth of the herd, the comfort of neutrality, and the safety of your hometown because you did not think you could survive silence. But now you see the tripwires. Understanding is no longer enough. From this moment forward, every social interaction is a tactical choice. Every room you enter must sharpen you or move you forward. If it does neither, you are prey. There is no just hanging out anymore. There is the hunt and the harvested. If this hits you like a gut punch, you are exactly where you need to be. Like this video if you have identified the traps. Subscribe so you never lose your edge. We are building a brotherhood of men who refuse to be domesticated by the rooms designed to keep them small. The fire is burning, the traps are set, but now you know where they are hidden. Go back out there. Walk through the fire and never let them see you shiver. The mask is on. Stay cold.